Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of your test review. Happy Monday. We're just going to kind of jump right into it. And I think I left off part 1 with number 17 here. If I didn't, I guess we'll find out. So it says set the slideshow transition duration to 2.0 seconds for all transitions. All right, so we're going to go to the transitions tab and let me open up my PowerPoint all the way so I get all my tools. All right, so this is kind of important. Make sure that you guys are actually doing the duration and not advancing the slide after a certain time. When you set a duration to a transition, basically what you're saying is it's going to take this long for, slide 2 to go to slide 3. And if we set the duration to 2 seconds here, go all the way down 2 seconds, and then say it apply to all. If you play your presentation, you would see that the transition would basically take about 2 seconds to go from slide 12 to 13. Okay. All right. Add online to the file property category. So whenever you hear the word properties, you think file tab. So no matter what they want you to do, whether it's inspect for comments and properties and remove them, or add a property, I want you to think file tab right-hand side. So they want us to, hang on, that's not what I wanted to do. Add online to the file property category. So there's actually a category called categories, okay? And they want us to just basically type in the word online. There you go. Bip, bam, boom, done. All right, delete the slide that has the title appendix. Easy enough. They're going to come down here to appendix, and we're just going to right click and say delete. Boom, bye-bye appendix, you're done. On the slide master, modify the title placeholder to use a newsprint texture fill. All right, so slide masters, again, we're going to go to the view tab. We're going to go to slide masters. We're going to scroll all the way up till we get the slide master, okay? On the slide master, modify the title placeholder to use a newsprint texture fill. So here's the title placeholder. We want to use a newsprint texture fill, so we're going to go colors. No, I lied, totally lied. We're going to go home tab. I lied again. There we go. We want shape fill is what we're looking for, not text fill. Be careful. We want a shape fill with a texture called newsprint. There you go. It looks nothing like a newspaper. And then when you're done, make sure you always close out your slide master so you don't mess things up. All right. All right, moving right along. Apply the medium style to accent 4 table style to the table on slide 12. Apply the medium style to accent 4 table style to the table on slide 12. So let's find slide 12. All right, so we have a chart and we have a table. Here's our table. They want us to do a medium. See, I've already forgotten. Medium style to accent 4. Okay, medium style to accent 4. Style 3, style 2 accent 2, style 2 accent 3, style 2 accent 4, boom, it's ugly. On slide 10, change the alignment of the arrows so that okay, this is a weird question. This one threw me for a loop. On slide 10, change the alignment of the arrows so that the right edge of each arrow is aligned to the right edge of the top arrow. Okay. So slide 10. Okay, so here's our arrows, and they're kind of a mess. Basically, what they want me to do is take all of these arrows and align them to this arrow, okay? And I'm gonna pause. Okay, and I'm not completely sure what they're asking us to do in this question, but I think this is the difference between align middle and align center. So if you select all 4 of your arrows with your control key, and then come up here to align and say align center, what you've basically done now is you've aligned these bottom 3 arrows to the top arrow. So now they're all lined up together. At least that's what I think they're talking about. So I guess we'll find out when we all miss that question on the test or get it right. I'm not sure which. Configure the printing options to print 4 copies of the presentation with 2 slides per page. All copies of the first page should print before copies of the second page. Okay, so file, print. We want 4 copies of the presentation, so come up here and say 4. We want to do 4 copies with 2 slides per page. 2 slides per page, and we want all first pages to print before the second pages. So we want to say uncollated right here. Okay. And that's it. On slide 16, change the video window so that it's 90% of its current size. Change the video window so that it's 90% of its current size. So I'm going to come up here where I'm going to click on the video, come up here to video tools and say format, and I'm going to come over here where it says size and position, because that's going to give me a percentage that I can say scale height and scale width to 90%, just like that. All right. And as long as I have this checked, lock aspect ratio, I shouldn't have to adjust the width. It should do it automatically. So that's 90% of its current size. And then let's close that out. Configure the animation on slide 6 so that the smart art appears on the page before the title or the text. So slide 6. Okay, so here's our smart art. And it wants this to come in before this. So let's open up our animation pane and see what's going on. Yep. So right now our smart art's coming in second. We just want to drag and drop our smart art on top of our title. So now our smart art has a 1 beside of it and our title has a 2. And that's it. On slide 6, delete the notes column and add 2 blank rows between Seattle and Montreal. On slide 6, delete the notes column and add 2 blank rows between Seattle and Montreal. Okay, so this is really slide 9, and I'm going to have to adjust that on my directions. On slide 9, delete the notes column and 2 blank rows between Seattle and Montreal, and insert 2 blank rows. Okay, so in order to delete a column, we're going to hover our mouse above the table, and notice how my cursor is now a downward facing arrow. That means I can click and select that column. I can right click and say, I can't delete. Oh, it's down here. Remember that? You always look through this list and then say delete columns. We actually want to insert 2 rows between Seattle and Montreal. So when you insert a row, you're going to right click. Again, you're going to hover your mouse off to the side. And once you select that row, you're going to right click and say insert rows above, and do that twice. So your table should now look something like this. Okay. All right. At the end of the presentation, add new slides from the outline called Cars Outline in the Documents folder. So in order to do this, we're going to have to actually go back to our Edmodo account, go to our folder, and we're going to have to grab the Cars Outline, which is right here. Go ahead and open it up. Go ahead and download it to your H drive. I'm going to put this on my removable disk. Car Outline is what it's called. All right, so now I've downloaded it. It's on my disk. I can close this out. Close out Edmodo. It says at the end of the presentation, add new slides from the outline, Car Outline. Okay, so we want to go all the way down here. We want to say slides from outline. So new slide, slides from outline. We're going to look through our H drive. Mine's on my USB, Car Outline right here, and say insert. It's going to pull all those slides that basically have a car as a title and give it its own slide. Okay, so now we should have a total of 26 slides in here. All right, add the zoom entrance to the animation to the image on slide 7. Zoom entrance to the image on slide 7. So entrance animations, zoom, boom, just like that, done. On slide 2, use the playback option so that the audio clip fades in for half a second when the user clicks the audio icon and then continues to play even when the presenter advances to the next slide. All right, so on slide 2, let's click on our speaker so that we can get our playback tab up here. we want to fade in for how long? For half a second when the user clicks the audio icon. So we want it to fade in for half a second when the user clicks. So make sure this is set to on click. And we want to click on play across slides because it says, and then continues to play even when the presenter advances to the next slide. Okay, so that one's done. All right, add new slides after slide 4, between slides 4 and 5 from the outline in products.docx in the documents folder. Add new slides after slide 4 between slides 4 and 5. So I don't think we have a products doc. So I'm going to skip over this one, and you can skip over this one too. It is exactly like this one that we just did, where we inserted new slides from the car outline. So this is the same thing. This is inserting slides from an outline, but it says between slides 4 and 5. Okay, we don't have this outline called products, so I'm going to skip over that one, and you can skip over that one too. All right, on slide 11, change the circles so that they overlap in the following order from back to front: early rock, blues, traditional country, and folk. Early rock needs to be the furthest one back, and then blues, traditional country, and then folk needs to be on top of everything. So we need to start by saying send to back for folk. Let me undo that there. Here, let's do it this way. A couple of the girls in one of my periods showed me this little trick. Okay, so we have early rock needs to be the back one, okay? And then blues, traditional country, so we need to find the blues. Blues, we need to send that down. Okay, and then traditional country is oval number 7, so let's send that down. And then folk, so we have early rock all the way in the back. We have blues second to the back, traditional country third to the back, and folk is on top of them all. All right, so that's the easier way to do it. Open up your selection pane and just use your arrows up here to bring them up and down. Okay. All right. On slide 2, add the footer music by Frank Miller. On slide 2, insert a footer that says music by Frank Miller. And apply. Not apply to all, just apply. Okay, and now it's right here. You can see it down there. Okay, all right. So that's about it. Besides like number 4 that we skipped over. Add all the slides from the Vineyards PowerPoint documents folder to the end of the presentation. I guess we could go ahead and do that one right now. Okay, so in your Edmodo account, I do have a PowerPoint that we can use for this one, and again, it's called Cars. So let's look at that, and let's download it to our drive so that we can do this one. So here's our presentation. It looks like it's just 3 slides. Let's download it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my removable disk. It's just called Cars. Once that downloads, I can now go to my PowerPoint. And let's go ahead and just go to the end. Now this is going to be after, technically it should be before all these, because this is number 4. So we're actually going to put it right here with number 18, okay? And we're going to insert our slides right here. Now what they want you to do on your test is they want you to insert new slides, or they want you to do reuse slides, and they want you to basically put the slides in order. So let me grab, once you hit reuse slide, and you open up the Cars presentation, you're going to see that you have 3 slides over here. And they want all 3 of them, that they want them in order. So just click once, click twice, click 3 times. So it should be cars, foreign car companies, and then my favorite cars. All right, so this is how our PowerPoint should look, for better or for worse, when everything is said and done. And when it does look like this, what I want you basically to do is save your presentation and go ahead and submit this as an assignment in Edmodo. And again, yours should look just like mine. When I go through this, I should see everything exactly like how mine looks, okay? And that's your actual test, guys, word for word. Make sure you study this. We're testing on Wednesday. Today's Monday, so you got 2 days to go over this and make sure you know it like the back of your hand.